Thanks for that, Kashcah.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome to another episode of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Everything's unmuted as far as I can tell. Cool. Descent into Avernus. Yeah, welcome everybody. Let's jump right in with introductions, and then we'll start with a nice little recap. Everybody's here at the current time, at least. We'll start off at the top right there with Kashcah.
Oh god, I always forget like where I am. I mean, not like I know where I am, but I forget. Yeah, I am kashcah. I'm the DM for Descent into Avernus.
Mm-hmm. And then straight down to the left of her, we have playing as Malvola.
Hi, I am Nightcaste. I'm playing as Malvola. It's a Dragonborn Warlock.
Indeed. A very effective one, nonetheless. And next to that, we have Coyra.
Hi, I'm Shy. I'm playing as Coyra, a fire-hating druid. A dead-wood-hating druid. She loves fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Palkas doesn't. But moving over from that, we have playing as Grimm.
I'm Nobby, playing as Grimm, a shifter, holy monk.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. A very unique character as well. And next to that, we have Thorn. Playing as Thorn. Sorry.
I'm Ghostwoods. Thorn is an elven ranger, gloomstalker, and all-round escaped mental patient with a stabby fixation.
Yes. Quite effective on the first round of combat, if I might add. And then myself, I'm Vallen. I play as Palkas, a half-orc wild magic sorcerer who just leveled up as well as everybody else did. Apparently last episode, Kashcah decided that we were all leveling up. We're now all level 6. And Palkas obtained the strongest spell in the entire game. So, let's do a little bit of a recap. And no, I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Strongest?
Yeah, it is the best spell in the entire game.
Is it the strongest?
Does it blow
spell?
bubbles?
It only
Are you going into battle?
only the strongest spell can accompany Palkas into battle.
Does it blow bubbles?
Because anything less will kill you. So last episode, episode 20, High Hall Hopes. We quickly found the source of the tap, tap, tap sounds in the giant cathedral when a large group of giant crabs. It's not just your average everyday crabs. No. These were devilish crabs. They were deviled crabs. That sounds even worse. They were some kind
That
of.
sounds delicious. Actually,
There's some
but
kind of
I mean...
evil crab-like critter. How's that? Because it really lessens it when I describe it like this. But they were
Except we
being
don't have any mayonnaise.
right. They were being
It's
herded
true.
to attack
Regrets.
us by a barbed devil. We were able to defeat them, but with Palkas taking a few hits that almost downed him, as well as Thorn. Once we had cleared the immediate area, Grimm found a massive Torm religious structure that thankfully healed part of the party, while Coyra healed Thorn, whom it had no effect upon. We found ourselves surrounded by corpses to the north and south, and crazed laughter to the west, which happened to be a spined devil and 3 crazed humans not of the city. We dispatched them as they appeared to be attempting to desecrate an altar and may have been responsible for some of the deaths in the cathedral. Searching around, we found no more sign of trouble, but did find a druid halfling worshipper of Sylvanus by the name of Seltern playing dead among the corpses. Grimm had found a passage to the Catacombs in the palm of the fist icon of Torm, and we proceeded to bring in the refugees and enter the structure. Seltern had told us that the upper areas were demolished of the cathedral, but many escaped into the catacombs below via this route in the Torm icon palm passage, including Older Ravengard. Then we all leveled up, and now episode 21, The Way of the Open Hand.
So Seltern was quickly heading down the steps in the kind of trapdoor that opened up in the altar. So he's like, yeah, scurrying down the steps. Yeah.
And Grimm was right behind him.
Okay.
Yep. Palkas is last. He always wants to be last. He'll make sure that the refugees get in before him as well.
All right. Then let me take you over to the next map. You're gonna have to zoom out because there's only a little bit of it revealed.
Funny thing, I was actually in just the right spot there.
Same here. Wow.
Okay.
That worked
so,
out.
Palkas, you said that you're going kind of last, right?
Yep.
And that you were going to have the refugees kind of go in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
What's everybody? Oh, here, you know what? Actually, let me just do this, and then you can kind of sort out, because I've got your tokens like just off screen a little bit. So do you want to sort out kind of your order of movement, and I'll describe what you see. So as you kind of enter down this trapdoor, the stairway immediately opens out into this 20-foot wide staircase that heads down and then clearly splits either side to go, well, there's passages either side. And Seltern is like quickly making his way kind of down the center of the staircase.
Palkas wants to make one last look around in the cathedral as he descends down.
Okay.
Just to see if anybody is seeing them go in.
Okay. Rhea will do the same. So Seltern, which way is he gonna go? He goes to the north. So he's gonna kind of head in this direction. And you can see that this passage heads kind of around, and it looks like it's just steps that that continue further down.
I see something here. I can't click on the screen. Why can't I click on the screen?
Oh, that's a lantern in the wall.
You can see my arrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason I can't ping. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay. Alright.
But you said that's a lantern?
Yeah.
I just can't click over there. That's weird.
So yeah, he's gonna head kind of further down, and
What's this on the floor?
it's a
It's a
pebble.
dot.
It's a pebble.
I have no idea. It's a dot.
Before dropping down, Palkas says, "How do we close this?"
Rhea kind of. Who are you asking? I guess.
He's just kind of looking at Rhea and asking the rest.
Rhea has a blank look on her face. I've never used this thing before.
I imagine it should just be able to pull or push the trapdoor back into place. Closing the hand, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a lever?
Outside.
No, do you see a lever in here?
Kashcah?
No, you don't.
Does not appear to be anything nearby. Malvola, do you think that you could cast your reach spell to fling the lever fast enough that we can close the door?
How will we get out then?
Well, I'm sure this leads somewhere.
Well, this is where we die.
It leads to your death.
That's what I assume about every area we walk into.
Saltern is not stopping, by the way. He kind of continues down the steps and appears to be heading around the corner.
Bye. Can't protect you while you're just taking off. Malvola, did you want to give that a try? I'm concerned we'll be followed.
I'm willing to make the attempt at least. So I'm gonna go back up the stairs.
Getting your exercise for the day.
Palkas will do his best to hold the door so he can close it quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that Malvola needs to focus on the one thing. Getting himself in.
So, Mage Hand, it says you can use the hand to manipulate an object, even an unlocked door or container, store or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour out the contents of a vial. So, pulling a lever seems like it would fall into what that can do. I don't know. It says it can't carry more than 10 pounds, so it's not super strong. But it didn't seem like the lever was hard to operate. So, does that work?
So cast Mage Hand, and actually I do need to kind of correct myself from, well, I'll just amend what happened previously, because when you previously cast it, I screwed up. So you cast Mage Hand, and it is visible. And you're probably used to it being visible. It has been visible previously. But when you cast it this time, it takes on a different form than it usually does. So this, at the moment, the hand looks emaciated and almost skeletal, where previously Mage Hand, you're kind of used to it looking like a normal hand. This looks like the hand of something that's been dead for a long time, or
so it looks like my chill touch spell.
it looks generally creepy.
It's undead. Kill it.
But you can still guide your hand as normal.
Okay.
It's not affected by this. So you guide it over to the lever, and it tries to pull the lever per your guidance, and finds that it does require more than 10 pounds of pressure to handle. So that does not work, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think I've got the goods to make this happen.
Your spell is not strong enough to push the lever?
That's the way it seems.
I fear mine might be too strong and break it. If only there were a middle ground.
Yes. Yeah. Mage two hands.
By their powers combined.
That's an extremely specialized spell that...
Yes. Mordenkainen's golf clap.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think I have any spells. What is going on with this? Why can't I click here?
I say if you can't close the hand, don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it that much.
Well, let's head on, and we'll have to be on our guard then.
So Zeltern is disappearing kind of around the corner here to the north.
Zoop. Oh wow. Let me zoom out, because he's just like gone.
Guys, we're casting spells.
What? We're trying to cover our tracks. He's all about like just taking off.
That is a wall right there. But, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what's these?
So that is corridor, and then this direction you see this opens up here. There's some kind of thing there.
Is it all like relatively clean down here? Like it's stone floors, stone walls?
It's catacombs.
It's catacombs, yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's like, chiseled rock, or if it's like dirt floors or what.
No, there are stone floors. It's like big stone slabs, and yeah, stone walls as well.
Right. So
I figured lots of dust, cobwebs.
Palkas comes down and says, "Which way did the rest go?" We should catch up.
Coyra points and shows you.
Let's go.
As far as she could see past these stairs, so she just assumes they went this way and she sees Grimm.
He starts encouraging the refugees to move along.
Yep, they will kind of
Move along.
move up.
Do I know which way he turned at this junction?
Make a perception check. See if you can hear. He's not being stealthy, so.
I get tracking.
Oh yeah. Your ranger skills.
Yeah.
Let's stick with perception.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's better than survival.
You think he turned right.
Okay.
Just because.
So you think he went this way.
You know, feline hearing, that kind of thing.
Yep, you agree. He definitely went right.
I'm assuming that Rhea is along with the refugees.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm just impressed with how fast this halfling's moving.
There's a word for people who lead you into catacombs and and then vanish. That word is pincushion.
Alright. Are they moving in front of us? Because that was my intention.
Yeah.
They should be.
Yeah, they can do that.
Malvola, are you coming as well?
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for the party to move as a cohesive unit.
When has the party ever moved as a cohesive unit?
So
Well, considering we were trailing all the way back to the top of the stairs a second ago.
when you walk past this, by the way, you saw that this did open up into a large room in here, and you would have seen a huge table, actually. Large oval table. Looks like it's a very fine, kind of finely crafted table made of a very solid looking wood. And it's surrounded by all these fairly comfortable looking chairs.
The council chamber!
Is that the way he went, Grimm?
Okay, I resist the urge.
Start carrying chairs
What
around.
are you gonna do, like, steal the table? Like, what?
Well, I might be able to carry it.
But you're both fairly certain you hear him to the south.
Right.
Palkas seems uneasy to those that are near him. He's like kind of acting a bit paranoid right now. Just constantly looking around because we're moving quite fast in an unknown area and he doesn't know why.
Trying to keep a halfling in sight. Jeez.
He is not aware.
Somebody put a leash on that little guy.
Staple his feet to the floor. I'll slow him down. So when you come around the corner, you start to see that this looks like a much larger kind of crypt area. You see along the wall, there are multiple alcoves kind of carved into it, and it does kind of open up into kind of this this big columned room. And you also see, peeking around the corner of these crypt areas, several sets of frightened eyes. Let's just do this. Then down here, you spot your halfling friend, and gonna open this up a bunch. And let me describe kind of what you guys see. So large crypt area. The further you move into the space, the more you realize that there are a lot of people down here. Lots of them are kind of carrying behind sarcophagi and in these alcoves. They're clearly been very upset. You see a lot of kind of red eyes and tear-stained cheeks. And you see here, ooh, let's move her out of that actually. This is a large font, and standing before it is this kind of haggard looking woman. She has grey hair that's kind of matted to her face with sweat. And with one arm, she clutches a large leather-bound tome to her chest. And in the other hand, she has what looks like a very fancy mace. It does not look like it's made for combat. It looks more ceremonial.
It looks like she has tusks. Does she have tusks?
Or is it another just bad icon that they use?
Hang on, let me look. Jeez.
Hey, Rhea is like this
What the
dude
heck?
in armor.
What token
Just
is that?
don't zoom in enough. Then you don't see that. Then you see Rhea.
That looks like an orc to me.
That's like a pretty weird token. Mhm.
Thought it was a back at first.
Yeah, right?
Often they'll, in
Nice.
Roll20, they'll use a token that already has preset stats of what it is.
Oh, so what you're seeing is like her, it's like a profile of her.
So she'll have the, like, we could run into somebody that looks like a thug token,
Yeah,
but
it drives me
they just have the
crazy.
stats of a thug, and in fact, they're somebody else.
Yeah, so pay no attention to the token. It's just a representation of her character class.
The only accurate tokens there are characters.
The
And
refugees
they
in
look
Rhea.
amazing.
Okay, so let me zoom out a bit again, and then I'll just unveil like all of this because you guys are clearly kind of spreading out to see everything. So you see there's another font further into the kind of room, and then you can see between these big columns there are further alcoves.
Is there light down here?
What do you mean down
Sure.
here?
Is there anything in these alcoves?
Hundreds of people.
Okay, so just people.
Yeah.
I mean,
They look like they're kind of crypts, right? But yeah, it's like big religious water. You know, when babies are baptized, this is like,
Most
where
likely
they-
holy water.
yeah. So yeah, she's standing there with this book. She looks human, actually. Not like the token.
I was just asking, is it dark down here? In the catacomb?
Oh, no, there are light sources.
Okay.
Some of these fixtures on the walls are little candles that are kind of guttering a little bit. And Seltern is clearly kind of, he's moved up and is having like, you know, he's kind of talking to this woman as you approach.
Okay.
I'm eavesdropping and not being subtle about it.
Yeah, I'm walking right up and listening to their conversation.
Palkas is walking along looking at all of the people and taking in their condition, quantities, races, if they're equipped with any weapons, armor, clothing even, you know, if they have any kind of food stores. He's trying to get an appraisal of the general situation walking down here with people.
Okay. So to answer the first question, Seltern is talking to this woman, and he says, you hear him say, "I thought I was dead. I really didn't think I was going to make it. But they thought I was just injured. So," he says, "I'm ashamed. But I let them believe I was dead, and they left me there, and then I couldn't move. There were devils, and such evil creatures around. I daredn't move. But then these folks arrived, and he kind of motions to you both.
Coyra is just peeking behind the corner to see what's happening.
Okay. And oh damn it! I zoomed in instead of out. Sorry, I need to collect the other folks. So Lulu kind of accompanies the commoners, and Rhea will be here as well, and the commoners kind of like are looking wide-eyed at the folks that like Harkina and what was his name, Jeff, the other guy,
Gary.
Jerry.
Gary.
Larry.
They're looking kind of wide-eyed at the number of people already down here, and like a little like, oh shit, this does not look any better kind of look on their face, like what have we arrived to? And Rhea Rhea will be following you, Pal, because she's just taking in like the number of people. She seems to be looking for like nobody in particular, but just looking at the kind of condition that everybody's in. So Sultan says, they seem to have picked up a couple of Elturellians as well. But I don't really know, like. And he turns to you and says, "Where did you come from?"
Baldur's Gate.
Grimm and say that.
Yeah, we came from Baldur's Gate.
And the woman
By
says,
way of an otter.
the woman says, "What are you doing here?" She says, "Don't you understand the danger that we're all in?"
Yeah,
Well,
but we do.
I'm the one
Raven.
who knocks.
No, you're all stuck here with us. Sorry.
We're looking for this Raven Guard guy.
She says, I am most worried about him. She says he left a few hours ago. Well, she says he left as I was expecting him back a few hours ago. He left like she says, I don't even know what time it is. She says, maybe half a day ago he left. He was going to the cemetery. They were going to investigate. He was hoping to find there's a holy relic in the chapel there, and the Grand Duke wanted to use this. He thinks that it could help get us out of here somehow, but he did not expect to be gone as long as he has been. I don't know why he's not back yet.
I mean, I know Rhea's looking for older Raven's Guard, but I thought we were looking for survivors, who we appear to have found.
No, we were looking for survivors.
Wasn't the idea
But
we were
looking for
scout? We were just supposed to scout the city, find survivors, and let the Autumn. Wasn't that the job?
No, we were supposed to find Raven Guard.
Mm-hmm. That was the ultimate. Was to.
That way he could take
I'm
charge
far
of
more
things.
concerned
And
about 100 people down here than I am about one Grand Duke wandering around a hellish city. Shouldn't you at least send up your flare to let the Otter know that there are people here if he can gate out?
But
Even if we don't go back, they should.
was it not?
I was sure that was the whole point.
The sending stones were to Silvera, not to Traxagor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, but Traxagor would be the one who opens any portal that needs to be opened if she can't do it herself.
Well, the other issue is too, they can only bring so many people back.
Yep.
Well,
I think it's
women
8.
and children first.
I think it was 6 people.
Maybe it was 2.
I mean, anyone not in hell is better than in hell, surely?
Mm-hmm. What's the current status of the peoples?
Okay, yep. So the people that you think, so it's a whole kind of mixture of races, and the thing that you notice most is that there aren't a lot of people who are capable, or who look capable of fighting in this mix.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like it's the kind of weakest of the city who have kind of gathered here to take shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman says, "We are protected down here." She says, "They won't make it. They won't make it past the tomb."
The tomb?
She says, "Did you see the tomb of the unknown hero on your way down?"
No.
She says,
Who is this that's talking?
"This woman."
Oh, just... oh, sorry. I didn't know we'd switch back. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, same.
Oh, sorry. So the people down here are it's a mixture of races, but it does look like the weakest of the city. And
Did it look like there are any other Hell Riders down here, perhaps? No. Okay.
No, nobody has any arms really on them. There's nothing beyond like a big kitchen knife.
Are there
You're not seeing any like swords or crossbows or.
Are there injured, sick, dying?
They look mostly kind of. They're dirty, right? They look like they've been to hell and not yet back. But it doesn't seem like anybody is injured at the moment.
All right. Sorry. Please go on.
No worries. So the woman says, she says they won't make it past the tomb.
Was Ravengard alone when he left?
She says no, he had a small group with him.
Where is my group?
He said it's a small group of guards.
Palkas comes over and starts rejoining after kind of looking at what was
I'm
going
not
on.
sure if Traxagor can take all these people back.
She says, we agreed to stay down here. He thinks that this artifact can help us get out of here, and I believe him. Says, it's the best chance we've got at the moment.
Well, I wouldn't want to bet that this floating city is going to stay in one piece over the next 3 hours, let alone that you'll survive down here indefinitely waiting for some treasure hunter.
She says, well, this is my concern. He's not some treasure hunter. And she looks actually a little insulted that just called this person that she quite admires, like, that he's just there for the loots. So she said,
that's us.
yeah. She said he's not
Mostly
some
no.
treasure hunter.
Grimm.
Sorry, relic hunter.
No, I'm not a treasure hunter. I'm a useless junk hunter.
Oh, sorry. Little mix-up.
And that's only because of a feature.
Yeah.
Palkas says, after seeing what those bridges are capable of, I wouldn't doubt that they would have some other options for potential escape. He seems to be a learned and experienced man, and not one that fell to the temptations of the devils like the previous person that escaped us. I can't remember his
Or
name.
the other Grand Duke we've met.
Yeah. He says, so before we judge him, though I may not like nobles, perhaps he may be of use, and he may be in trouble.
He may have a way to get all these people back. We don't know.
That would make things a lot easier for us. And them.
The question is, do we want to go looking for him right away or take a rest?
Palkas kind of looks torn at this and says,
Yeah, I don't want to stay in this in Avernus any longer than we have to.
says,
but
I don't know that
we can't push ourselves indefinitely.
I don't know that I can wait long enough because he might be in immediate danger after hearing what was said here. But I do have some options still left, though they are limited.
Rhea approaches, and she's kind of staring at the book that this woman is holding. And she stops staring at the book and she looks up at the woman and says, "You saved it." And the woman says,
what?
She says, "Well, I couldn't let it fall into the wrong hands." She says, This is what we all swore on. It has to mean something.
It doesn't look like a book of fragments, does it?
No.
Otherwise, Thorn might get a little stabby.
Coyra just looks confused, like, why would you pray to a book or swear on an old dusty book? She looks really confused about it.
I mean, it's paper, right? Which is technically...
Yeah, paper is dead wood, pulped up.
It's
Also
not
dead wood.
burning yet. I can only speak in the here and now.
Don't worry, Coyra. Nothing is ever really dead. The paper is still suffering.
Falca says, so what is the
hear it
significance
screaming.
of this book you speak of?
Rhea looks at you and says, "This is the Tome of the Creed Resolute." She says,
Burn it!
She says, this is the oath that we all swore. And
That is the bill
then-
of sale for all of you being here right now.
and all our signatures are in it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's
like the man says, that's why you're down here.
so why keep it?
Well, got to keep your receipts in case the tax in time for tax time.
Both Feria and the woman and Rhea look pretty insulted by this.
Palkas inspects her shadow.
Make a perception check.
Oh, crap. Didn't think it'd be that difficult. All right, perception.
No, I'm just messing
It's shaped like a squirrel.
I like this one. She's a good nut.
Shadow seems perfectly normal.
Okay. Palkas says, I still don't know what significance you need of that book.
She says, have you never pledged yourself to something?
My own causes.
She says, well, this to us is a physical representation of what we pledged ourselves to.
And
That is a physical representation of bondage.
Yeah,
She
that's
says-
the
That
contract you
book
signed, which
is-
sent you into hell.
Yes, that book is evidence of the agreement between Thavius Krieg and Zariel.
That's the name.
He sold you into slavery. That is the proof. And you all agreed to it.
She
That's
says,
why that's why El Terrell is in Avernus now.
She says, are you trying to say it's my fault? What are you gibbering about?
No, I'm saying that doesn't deserve your devotion.
She says, El Terrell deserves my devotion. And so do
Yes,
the people.
that book
who-
does not.
Says, this book is a representation of that devotion. She says, I don't know what you're talking about with Thavius Krieg. And
He sold the city of El Terrell for power. He traded it to Zariel. 50 years under the Companion, and then all y'all's go to hell, and he gets the prize. That was the deal.
She says this book has nothing to do with that. She says
It's the Creed Resolute. Of course it has something to do with that.
Where I pledged to take care of Elturel and everything that it stands for and the people within the city. She says there's nothing to do with. And who the hell are you anyway? She says, Thavius Krieg. She says, this is a man I've known my whole life. Who are you? Some stranger to come down here fear-mongering
We're the
among
guy.
those who are already afraid. She says, you should be ashamed of yourself.
We're not devils to start with.
I should be ashamed that I'm trying to save your people.
Okay, before we get into too big of an argument, Rhea, would you like to tell her about the contract we found?
Please.
Meanwhile, Coyra just backed up again behind one of those.
A stone pillar, not a wood pillar.
Just in case.
So Rhea,
Like I said, Rhea, would you like to tell her about the contract?
Rhea kind of puts her hand on her shoulder because she's standing over there, like looking at the book, looking at this woman. She puts her hand on her shoulder and she says, "I'm sorry that you had to hear it this way." And she kind of like shoots Malvola some side eye. She says, but what he says is true. We have been betrayed by Thavius Krieg. And it is his betrayal that led us here. That has, his betrayal is why the city is now in Avernus. She says, I couldn't believe it when I heard it either. But I've seen the evidence now, and it is true. And you see the woman kind of like, her face is like searching for some explanation, and she just seems kind of dumbfounded at the moment.
Palkas speaks up at this point. Says, what you may have intended as a mark of truth and justice and dedication to a good cause has been twisted by those of evil intent and greed for power. We hope to reverse that, but we still don't know how. Rhea, do you know the way to the graveyard?
She says, yes, I do.
How far is it from here?
She says it is a shorter distance than we have already traveled. She says it's down the hill from High Hall and across the western city. The western section of the city.
So still on the floating part?
She says...
both parts are floating.
Well, I'm saying, down the hill, is that now somewhere that's not on the part that's being pulled down?
The woman says, well, that is where all the Raven Guard is gone, so if it's not there, then I think he would have returned a lot sooner.
Still begs the question, do we want to take at least a short rest and recoup, or...
You said he was due back some hours ago. How long has it been since he left?
She says, maybe half a day?
How long was he expected to be gone?
Just a couple of hours.
What is the relic and where was it kept? Did he give any information about it that can help us to locate him and the relic?
She says, it's called the Helm of Torm site, and it is in the chapel, in the cemetery.
What is it supposed to do?
She says it's supposed to connect you with Torm. It's a way to communicate more directly with him. She still looks kind of like just floundering, like...
Is it well known? Or is it only known among the elite among you?
She says, well, it's not something that well, she says some folk know of it, but I don't think the devils know of it.
I just wonder if they anticipated this and are attempting to obtain and taint the relic. We've already encountered several trying to ruin some of the shrines.
She says,
I mean,
I don't know what they
given
know.
Zariel's manipulations, you'd be astonished if she at least didn't know about it.
She says, I've been a little busy. And she kind of motions to all the people here.
Palkas,
I don't know what they know.
Palkas says, good point. Coyra, come here. And he like motions.
Palkas is getting all bossy.
He says, let me have your food pack. Everybody has their own food pack.
Sure.
He takes it off of you. You probably feel a lot lighter now.
Probably, I'm trying to find it.
He says, don't worry, I'm carrying yours now. And he takes the pack off of her, and he hands it to her and says, here, this should help your people. At least for a short time, if we don't return. But I can go now. I don't know.
That was to see if Grimm gave in to greed or not. He pulls his food pack off and tosses it down. Share this out amongst those here. It may not taste the best because of where we are, but at least it's food.
She picks it up and kind of looks inside the bag, and
it's actually just a bunch of rags. Crap! We've been tricked.
Wrong bag. That's my laundry. She looks at all the rations, and she's her eyes get kind of like a little wide for a second, and she a look of gratitude comes across her face, and she looks up at you both and says, "Thank you."
Are the fonts dry?
They are not.
Okay.
But that's holy water.
So much for that plant.
Palkas says, does anybody need to rest before we go? I do not know how much use I will be, but I feel if we wait too long, it may be too late.
That's why I'm concerned about whether or not we should rest.
Counterpoint, we're
It
already
might be
12
best
hours behind.
What's that?
So we're already 12 hours behind on the 2-hour job.
Coyra actually looks in her bag of tricks after Thorn mentions it, just to see if the ball regenerated or not.
You checked just before we went down here, by the way.
it's
So
not my-
Hey, you don't know how
Well,
much.
we've been talking for a few minutes. It might have changed.
Just whenever she hears time, she's like, please.
My concern is this. For those who cast spells, would it be better to have them at full strength or as they are now?
Of course.
Rhea says, if Elder Ravengard has not returned, then I think, it's because shit has hit the fan. So you may want to...
Palkas like, language? No, I'm kidding.
Have I, as granted, I'm only a low alkalite, barely level of cleric, have I heard of this helm that she mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I know anything about it?
Probably not any more than she's shared already.
Okay.
It's basically just a regular iron hat that you put on, and then you say, I've been speaking with God, and then people listen to what you say. But in D&D,
Much like most religious icons.
but in D&D, it might actually have magical powers too. So we'll see.
It might actually work.
Yeah. So Palkas says, of course it would be better if I took the time to rest and recuperate my spells. He seems torn still. So I don't know how others are faring at this point.
Coyra just says, for my spells it might be useful, but if not, be it.
You said that devils and the like can't come past this tomb. What about the rest of the catacombs? It looked like there were more elsewhere.
She
And
said,
would it stop anybody? Would it stop humans and the like that are corrupted from coming in here?
Mm.
oh, that's a good question. Hang on one sec. Let me look.
Well, I'm thinking of those crazy guys we met.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They were just out for a good time.
But if they're more like them,
She
my
said,
other concern is the safety of the people. Do we want to make a sweep of the catacombs before we? It's one of those. We could do this. We could do this. What? Yeah.
She says, as far as I know, I think it's only devils who are particularly vulnerable to the tomb's effects.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I thought we were here to help these people and to let Counterkeep know where they were so they could mount a rescue, but if we're not, that's fine. Fuck them, let's go find old Ravengard.
I think Ravengard might be a good means of helping these people.
Palkas says
Sure.
older Ravengard
Hey,
was supposed to be the
I don't have
key
any
to
more
the
love
return
of
the people.
nobles than you, so
If he's
no, he might be one of the good ones.
if older Ravengard has come up with an answer on this side in Avernus to return the people, then we will have accomplished our mission. Originally, we were to return him so that he could then gain resources, people, and other things on the other side to help return everybody.
I mean, obviously he hasn't.
Maybe he just needs a push.
So it comes
And
down
that's
to
some very big ages.
what is the consensus on what we want to do now?
I mean,
Coyra just says, I'll go with whatever.
yeah, it's all good. If you want to go get him, Palkas, let's go get him. He could be dying as we speak.
Coyra isn't really a plan person. He just strolls along happily.
So Rhea has kind of walked away at this point, and she's going around like to the different alcoves and checking on people in more detail and giving them some food and a little of the water that she has, and so that's kind of what she's up to. Lulu is kind of fluttering nearby, and she seems to be looking at the woman, and then the woman turns to her and says, oh, she says, it's nice to meet you. My name is Feria Jinx.
Right, we never did introductions. Syria Jinx.
Feria, here, hang on. I put it in the chat when I can find it to copy paste. There we go.
Oh, Syria Jinx, okay. And then, of course, the conversation is like half not heard because of the mental telepathy going on.
One-sided conversations are interesting.
Palkas says, how are each of you faring? Do you feel you have enough fight in you to go back out? Or do we need to recuperate? Because a rescue mission is not very effective if we can't rescue.
No, it's okay. Let's get on with it. What the heck?
A short rest would be beneficial, but I can stand to go.
Yeah. The same.
The same meaning you would like a short rest as well?
Yeah. It would be beneficial, but I could go right now. It's literally the same response that Grimm just gave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, I'll be going out without, or we'd be going without any, in my case, assistance of Torm, but there are other means.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of you injured, by the way, from last?
I had a little problem with that. When I leveled up, it healed my hit points.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that I was injured though.
Yeah, because you were the one of the ones that tried to lay your hands on the altar and it didn't work for you.
No, it did work for me.
No, it didn't work for Thorn.
Right.
Yeah,
didn't-
Oh, that's right.
Coyra healed him
Yeah.
a bit.
Oh, okay.
That's right now. Okay, so never mind. I'm not injured. I forgot.
So I think the only one that
Feel
is down, other than the empty hit points that we all have, is Thorn.
Yes, but obviously I'm not sure what that is because I ran the level up with.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were healed up a little bit by Coyra.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just kind of wondering if the Feria would see any kind of visible wounds on you.
Potentially on Thorn,
Probably.
technically. Because he got, what, stabbed or something? I can't remember what. Or no, you got scorched
Did he get scorched?
Yeah,
by the Abishai.
No, Palkas got scorched
Or not the.
by the Hellhound.
the barbed devil was throwing fireballs at.
That's what it
people.
was. I couldn't remember
That
what it
was
was.
it, yeah.
I knew something was throwing firebolts or something. Yeah, I think he got a little toasted.
So Feria would approach you, and you can see Thorn. You can see she's looking specifically at, your burns, and says, "If you're going back out, would you like some help with that?"
Always. Thank you.
So she does cast Cure Wounds, on you, and yeah, we'll say that. Or actually, hang on.
I know that after Coyra healed him, he was above half.
So she heals 4 hit points for you, whatever that
Thank you.
means.
Yeah, I look a bit washed out. I think. Not sure why.
So he's mostly healed, which is better than mostly dead. So are we going to head back out?
I think we should. And Palkas says, "Do you have any protectors down here?"
Rhea says, "Me." She says, "I'm going to stay with these people."
Is there another way out of the catacombs besides the way we came in?
Feria motions to, actually, there's a small trapdoor that is open. She says, "Well, that would be the way out, but it's not viable."
Did we actually manage to close it? No, right?
The one at the top. You closed the trapdoor, but you guys weren't able to close the hand.
That was it, okay.
Not viable. Why?
She says, "Well, it's actually like a secret passage, but the exit that it leads to is no longer there." She says, "But you get a really good view of the battle below if you want to go have a look."
So our best bet is to return the way we came. Back out through the
Everything's still
cathedral.
dead.
Coyra actually asks quickly.
Hopefully it's still
The
dead.
hand, can it be closed from inside too?
Feria says, "No."
Okay.
What else is in these catacombs?
She says, Elturel's, the remains of Elturel, like Elturelians. It's our catacombs, the city's crypts. She says you'll find a great many people buried here, from the finest of nobles to lowliest of commoners.
Do we want to make a quick sweep through, make sure nothing has slipped down here?
Or
I'm
do you mean
sure.
like a magic sword or
I'm sure
pouch of money or
Well,
something?
I'm trying not to think loot.
Right.
know.
And Palkas is looking at you and thinking, he's probably just gonna nab everything from every dead person down here. It's like, maybe we should
Put it back.
maybe we should
No,
just go.
The picture hasn't become that obvious yet.
I'm sure if there was anything down here, it would have found these people by now.
That's probably
Just wondered.
So, who's all going then?
well, we are.
Ray is staying,
Right,
Yeah.
staying.
but we also had this new druid friend. I don't know how eager they were to join.
He is not eager to go anywhere.
Okay, well then
He's
that's
like,
actually
"Nope."
good because we've got Harkina here, we've got the druid, we've got Rhea. Each of them can actually lend some sort of defense, even if it is just for a half a round.
Arkina will come over to you, Thorn, and she says, look, she says, obviously I want to keep some of these for myself, and she's motioning at her silvered arrows. She says, but perhaps you can use them a bit better. She says, if you'd like some extras, I'm happy to kind of split this with you.
That would be very kind of you. Thank you. I will take whatever you feel comfortable sparing.
She gives you 20 silvered arrows.
Oh wow,
Oh, fantastic.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
She
that is
says,
a lot of money.
it is the least I can do. She says, I don't think we would have made it here without you. Escort mission successful.
Is Lulu coming with us?
Lulu is coming with you, yeah.
Oh goody.
So at least we have the guide, something of a guide from someone who's been here before.
All right. Well, what direction is the graveyard? Rhea?
Round the corner over here is a big giant. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just curious to see if it kind of mimicked the other side.
Whoa, so big. Okay.
You guys
An
didn't have.
enormous halibut.
What was it?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Just remembering a very strange person I met once.
You guys didn't have a map of Elturel, did you? Although, I mean, we have one like in game, but you don't have one on your personal.
Our characters don't.
No,
Okay.
not that I'm aware of.
Maybe Lulu has,
Whatever you do, don't give the map to Coyra.
cemetery sense.
Does anyone have any paper or pen, something like that? We could perhaps make a sketch of the city real quick while Rhea's knowledge is with us.
Nope.
I'm fresh.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Ah!
I leave that to one of you.
Typical
magic-y types.
Dragonborn, always carrying paper and pads.
And then I still have some books.
Actually, while they're doing that, I am going to satisfy my curiosity to see if this mimics the other side.
You're looking for mimics? What?
No, I'm not looking for mimics.
Where are you
I
off
want
to?
to see if this route looks the same as the other side, and I want
Oh.
to see if I can find this tomb.
Okay. Alright. So,
She mentioned the tomb. I'm curious about it now.
You're looking for
Goes
the
this
hero's
way.
sword. Or the sword of time.
and then this goes like this and like
This
this.
is more extensive than I thought.
Similar, but not the same.
Since we should have passed it, I'm imagining the opening here.
Yeah, so there are steps down. And It's a small kind of isolated tomb down these steps, and there's there's a Constitution save coming up. There's
I wasn't doing it for that, but I was just curious about the tomb of this hero.
Yeah. So it's on top of this kind of a gleaming marble kind of sarcophagus is a sculpted sculpture of a young woman kind of lying in repose, and next to her is a very fancy looking greatsword. Oh,
Resist.
yeah, you do resist.
Extreme force of will. This is one of those.
It's just too fancy.
No, this.
Yeah.
Are we
This is
therefore?
one of those. Yeah, no, don't loot this.
Are we getting a short rest thus because we're making a map and discussing where we're going and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
you could say that it'd take like an hour to do this, and since you've kind of arrived down here,
Then I'll come back around the other side, around the way we came in initially.
You just phase through the wall. You've got no clip ability.
That could help us out.
I'll tell the DM.
Did you see the guy?
Huh? What guy?
Damn it.
The dead guy, of course. When you no clip through the wall.
Okay, since we're taking a short rest.
Remind me again, what did a short rest do?
For everybody, it should allow you, if you are short on hit points, to roll your hit dice, spending them and regaining health.
Now I've got my empty hit points as well.
Some of the character classes will regain abilities, perhaps shape-shifting or spell-casting or something like that. Myself, all I would be able to do is regain health. But
in my case, I get my key points back by spending that hit die. I get those empty hit points we got from leveling up, and I get my ability to shift back.
Yep.
Yeah. Rather than guess what my current hit point should be, I'll just take a couple of hit dice off and assume that did the job.
That probably would, actually. So, yeah.
Quick question for my class. What was the hit dice? Is it set to a D4 again?
It's supposed to be D8.
Yes, D8.
Thank you.
Do that.
Anytime you level up, it defaults there. I don't know why.
So, basically I'm not at full... If I'm hearing this correct, because it set me automatically to full health, I'm 7 down, right?
Yes.
As those are the empty... Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you click...
and while we're resting,
Not anymore.
strenuous or anything, I'm going to try to take those 2 arrowheads that Thorn was courteous enough to give me and kind of attach them to the end of the whip, almost not quite Cat of Nine Tails style, but
okay. How are you attached? Do you have like some stuff with you to enable you to do this work? Or?
Basically, I'm kind of unweaving or unbraiding the end bit and using sinew and whatnot.
Gotcha. And like braiding it back up.
Basically using my leather working kit and...
Okay, cool.
I was going to suggest maybe Coyra can mend it together, but that only works to repair stuff, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now if we had some mayonnaise.
Yeah, see? See? If only we took it.
Have you ever tried undoing a leather knot with mayonnaise on your hands?
No.
I haven't, but it doesn't sound like it would be very easy.
I mean, for everything at first, right?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so we take our short rest.
All right.
Yep. And where you heading?
Boogie. We're going to the graveyard where all the happy folk are.
Just because I think it would be
Get
funny.
Something back on a short rest would be wonderful.
Okay, he resisted the urge to further explore. Catacombs.
Grimm
You
just
gave me this
wanders
feature.
off.
I'm gonna use it to have fun.
Yeah, cool. So you guys
Even though
going
it kind of goes against his alignment.
going back out the way you came? Is this like constant internal conflict for Grimm now?
Grimm's walking, using his other senses to find his way.
Palkas would
Walks
ask
against
about
the wall. Plop.
Palkas would ask about the heroes too.
Who are you asking?
The lady with the book.
Okay. Yeah, she knows about that. She will say, she says it's practically like an urban myth now, but there is a story of an incident from years before the companion appeared in the sky. There was a young red dragon who made life miserable for the residents of Elturel. It was doing, dragon stuff, eating livestock, burning crops, demanding tribute. And then one day, a scruffy-looking, unarmored woman wielding a greatsword marched up to the dragon and hacked at the beast with mighty swings. Before the stunned creature could fly away, she slew it. And a startled... everybody was shocked and startled by this and rushed forward to thank the woman for her bravery. However, as they approached, she fell dead. She says, nobody knows who she was, but that's her resting place, and there are rumors that suggest that she was an incarnation of Torm, or that Torm's spirit had filled her and inspired her to defeat the dragon.
So that's the greatsword laying on top of the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Nice story. Very inspiring. Let's go.
Well, shall we head up
No, just kidding.
back up to the surface and find this graveyard cemetery?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm going to move you back to the map. I'm assuming unless you're kind of taking any detours in the catacombs.
I don't know. Do I take any detours in the catacombs?
I don't think you do. Not unless you want to.
I think it'd be potentially rewarding, but
I had no intention of side questing into the catacombs. Kind of defeats us leaving now.
well, we can always check them out when we come back.
Yep.
If you go.
Yeah, we'll definitely be coming back.
What was that, kashcah? If you come back?
Palkas says, "Don't worry, we'll be back when we're back." We have no concept of how much time this will take us.
Okay. So, I'm going to move you back over to the map then. Bing. So here we are, back over at the map of Elturel.
We're floating over the abyss. Great.
It's better than
No, I'm
plummeting.
not.
Coyra takes a step to the left. No.
I'm just burning. It's fine. That's
So am
my
I,
natural
apparently.
state.
So you are obviously here,
Mhm.
and the cemetery is over here.
Hold on, I gotta zoom way out to see where you're.
Yeah.
Where the
Yeah.
other fire is.
Gotcha.
Bing, bing.
Okay.
Okay.
So, oops,
It's over where?
that one.
Vineyard looking thing.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
the
looking at
vineyard.
it, that looks like a
Okay,
grave.
yeah, I see what. Yeah, that kind of looks like a cemetery.
Yeah, just a
Hopefully
little bit.
Big one.
Um,
And he's somewhere in there. Great.
So Rhea has advised you to kind of take this path down the hill here,
Mhm.
and then head south to go around this way, and then just follow the street around
Yeah.
to the cemetery.
and fight whatever we happen to encounter.
Look at Malvola go.
Look,
Look,
amazing!
Except now you're in the cemetery all by yourself.
You use no clip, I use teleport.
So you're kind of traveling. There's the same kind of activity out in the open as there was before. There's these lightning strikes from, what was previously the companion. Is now this ball of evil in the sky. And then...
I just noticed this guy.
Oh, what's he doing out there? I don't know.
He's still floating in mid-space.
Ooh. Here he comes. Oh no.
Is that a T-Rex?
Where'd he go? He's invisible.
Coyra is attacking the city.
And yes, I'm going super sneaky.
But so lightning still going on. The
Very
quakes are still going on. But perhaps what you would notice in between, like the last time you kind of looked at them, which was a while ago, there were lots of battles going on in the cathedral. But last time you looked at them, and now there are more of these visible. So
These?
it's more of these like
We're
big
zoomed up.
metal spiky things.
Oh, right.
The things with the chains.
So we've gotten lower.
Near the cemetery, if you look there.
It's a little bit
things.
lower
Great.
than when you kind of first arrived here and looked at them.
We're on a timer. Shit.
I mean, it's a long way down.
Mm. Well, at least it's no longer an escort mission. Okay, so
So you can start making your way across the city, and yeah, this kind of activity's going on, these quakes and everything, and you get to around here-ish, and you hear a human, like it sounds like a man's voice crying out for help. He says, you hear like, "Is anybody there? Help! Help! I need help!"
shoot him. I mean,
It's not
we help
very
him.
subtle.
You're not
What
playing
sort of
Thorn
voice is
anymore.
it?
Right.
What was that? Sorry.
What sort of voice is it?
It sounds like a man's voice.
Yeah, but I mean, does he sound like a commoner? Does he sound like a noble? Does he sound
Oh, okay.
does he sound drunk?
Okay.
He sounds like
He
the devil.
sounds, he doesn't sound like a noble. It's not like it doesn't
Oh,
sound like he's got
oh.
a mouthful of marbles or anything.
Probably sounds so scared that he wishes he was wearing his brown pants.
And it sounds like it's kind of coming from one of the side alleys, like in this block here.
Well, apparently you don't care about the local peasants.
Yes, we do. We've been saving him the whole time.
At least sneak close enough to see if it's legit.
So you're kind of stealthing up and...
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
being super sneaky, see?
Yeah, I see that. So you can kind of sneak ahead of the group, and Malvola is just like, you can sneak ahead of the group and peek around the corner, and you see a man. He looks like kind of middle-aged, maybe in his 40s or 50s, and he's wearing like looks like commoner's clothing. You do see he's got like kind of an overcoat on. It looks like he's got like a leather apron on under that. And he is being accosted by... Oh, why is that tiny? Sorry.
By a teeny tiny devil.
By,
It's like that episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer where it's like this big.
He's being accosted by 3 of these.
They don't look fun.
I remember this. You run into these guys in stage 2 of Diablo, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
They make the most of
No hurt, no kill.
Exactly. And then you kill him anyway.
We moved on from fucking issue. And now we're at
Yes.
Ula's out. Okay.
I imagine you've already created a map for this.
What? Who, me? Would I do such a thing?
That is your imagination.
This random, not so random encounter.
So, you were stealthing up to find
Yeah.
out what the
So
stuff
that-
was.
I mean, they haven't seen
Are
me.
you jumping into battle by yourself? This is what I would like to know.
I'm
Alright.
crazy, but I'm not that crazy.
Okay.
I do motion, although as stealthy as I'm being, I'm not sure if you see me.
We know where you are.
To come, like that urgent, come on, it's legit kind of thing.
Okay. We're watching your little kitty tail.
Hey, nobody said I had a tail. I don't have a tail, do I?
Not yet.
When did that thing grow?
As soon as you got to
It's called puberty.
Oh.
But after motioning for them to come, and hopefully they follow,
Mhm.
I will maneuver closer
Okay. All right, let's go to the map.
to ambush. I had a feeling there might be one.
This is where, in Final Fantasy terms, the screen goes like all pixely, goes, and then you jump into a battle when the music changes.
And then you're in this massive boss fight.
Yep.
All right. I forgot everybody's
Yeah, I'll
talking
admit I'm
about me.
itching to try my new toy, as it were. And I'm not just talking about the whip.
No toys, please. Right.
So Grimm, you had stealthed up, so yeah, I mean you guys see kind of this group right here. So
I
yeah.
can't scroll. There we go.
Yeah, I'll kind of stealth up amongst or through the rubble, whatever, to get
Okay.
basically get close enough that when ready to spring the ambush, all it takes is movement forward to attack.
Okay. Yep, so you can kind of sneak up and still be in hiding. And actually let's roll some turn orders. So if you want to do like a surprise attack on them, that's fine
That's
as
like
long as you succeed. at
Single
your start.
attack, right?
Yeah.
Considering I've got multiple attacks.
I can't click on my initiative. Why can't I click on my initiative? There's a certain area of the screen that I can't click for some reason. It's like
Is your chat overlay thing in the way?
No, it's not even on there.
I just remember that was one of the things. I was watching the dig site videos earlier today, and I remember you talking about now it's like right in the middle of the screen, right in the
Yeah.
way of every.
No, I have since fixed that. This is like I've got something invisible just hovering somewhere over here. I don't know what it is.
Actually, I will make one surprise attack.
Surprise!
Move here. Whip coming out. The one there.
Sorry, do it one more time. Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that hit?
Nope.
Okay. I had a feeling once I rolled it wouldn't, but well, they know I'm here now. That didn't work out quite the way I was hoping. I was hoping to take one of them temporarily out of the fight before it started.
No, but you could lure them out into the rest of us.
Yeah, you could.
Oh.
Well,
If
at
you
the
have
very
movement
least,
left, you run back down here.
So you do have actually you're first up in the turn order anyway. So
is it just me, or does that look like Travis Williams?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, that's
I just looked at the token. I'm like, wait a minute
a
here.
little bit.
Why does the token have a white square?
Why?
Because it's
Is
not.
it just a bug or?
No, it's a token I yoinked off the
Okay.
internet
You said it-
instead of being
Oh,
supplied
okay.
with the
I am
adventure.
top of the turn order. Cool. Okay, let's try this again. Against the same wall.
Oh, that will hit. 26, yeah, just about.
8 slashing damage, and I will spend a key point. For that. He has to make a Constitution saving throw
Obviously.
against a DC of 15.
Okay. La, 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 la. He rolled a natural 1.
Whoop.
Wow.
So he's stunned and basically unable to do anything until the beginning of my next turn. I think it is. Or no, until the end of my next turn.
Oh, so you can juggle him.
Yup.
Huh?
That's hilarious.
Well,
Oh, no,
as
no,
long-
no.
as long
Wait.
as he's got
Wait.
points.
I'm not done with my round yet.
We're not through yet.
Because
But wait,
the other thing I
there's
got at
more.
fifth. The other thing I got when we leveled up was extra attack.
Mhm.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
That's the one north of him.
that just hits.
I don't know if- Oh, it just hits.
Just hits.
He takes 8 slashing damage, and he also has to make a Constitution saving throw against the DC of 15.
What? He rolled an 18.
Oof.
Oh, you bastard!
I think he made it.
I'm not going to try to make it a stunning strike again this time, but for my bonus. Anyway, it's a good thing I wasn't planning on it. 3 whip cracks later, actually technically 4. That ends my turn.
Okay.
But at least one of them is incapable of doing anything.
It is.
Are you moving?
Lulu's gonna move there and hold her action.
No, I'm staying right there. I'm trying to draw them away from Travis over here.
From Travis. Just go and call him Travis.
That's what he looks like.
Yep, he does look like Travis. We'll just call him Travis.
So it is their turn, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
Unfortunately for me.
Okay.
Ah, damn it. That's what I should have done. Instead of that last attack, I should have done patient defense.
Okay.
But I took the last attack, so.
Yeah. And you do actually, sorry, at the end of your turn here, you do need to make a Constitution saving roll, please.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Okay.
What bad thing just happened?
So their presence is actually damaging.
Of course it is.
So okay. Alright. +1. Alright, got it. So so you take a little bit of necrotic damage.
Great.
You take 7 necrotic damage from these guys. Or they have this kind of aura around them.
Hmm.
So they've kind of got like a psychic stink.
Something like that. Why isn't this behaving?
Or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Ah, there it is. Okay. That is weird. So this guy is gonna move up. His friend over here is gonna continue to harass Travis. And
He's all like, "You're short, and you're ugly too."
And you have a goat face.
That's rude.
and so this guy approaches you, and his tail actually is what he's attacking with. So whips out towards you, but misses because he only rolled a 12.
Neener. Sorry,
and
little bit of fun stuff now.
It's only gonna end bad for you.
his friend
know.
does the same thing, and just misses Travis here. So, Thorn, it is your turn.
Okay. Yeah. So I will move up to there.
Stab
Okay.
and start shooting. I think 2 shots at that one above Grimm.
Shoot the bad man.
The first one
That
will
would
be
be
my.
Oh wait, yeah.
The first one will be my advantage dread ambush
Okay.
thing.
That hits.
That'll hit. That's that plus that. Then second shot at the same one.
Right. That misses.
It's the same calculation.
Well, that was. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Actually, your
then-
longbow's +8 and your rapier's +9.
Yeah, so if I had to be 10 rather than 11, it's still a miss.
Gotcha.
And then one at this one.
Okay.
So, what was that guy's deal? He's what? Stunned?
He
Yeah.
is done.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure Thorn knows that.
That does hit. Yep. So minus.
Okay,
Okay.
that's me.
Good stuff. Coyra?
Give me a second.
It's a good thing you had advantage on that last shot.
Coyra is gonna move up to here, I think. Let me see really quick. What am I clicking?
Oh, sorry. I almost forgot. Thorn, could you make the Constitution saving throw, please?
Sure.
For being in their presence. Their rotting presence. You are okay?
So Coyra moves up to there, tries to use her Thorn whip on this guy.
Okay.
Does that hit?
That does hit. Okay.
And she pulls him to here. Sorry, misclicked. That's 2, right? Yeah, to here. And then she moves 1 back.
Okay. And could you also roll a Constitution?
Jeez, what
Yep.
aura do these guys have?
Uh-oh. Oh, except there's only that
Ooh.
guy. So,
Oh.
so you
Woo!
take just 1 point of necrotic damage.
What about Lulu?
You only catch a little whiff.
Lulu has done her stuff, sir.
Okay.
Don't you worry about Lulu. Right. And it is your turn. So
Oh.
what about Palkas? in fact?
What about Palkas?
Palkas didn't want to turn, did he?
Nah. He doesn't need turns. He's going to use bonus action to convert sorcery points. 1, 2, 3 of them. To get a level 2 spell.
Really quick. When Coyra took the damage, she just said ouch as if something hit her, but she doesn't know.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. I need to move this over so that I can scroll back up. There we go. 'Cause that dead spot on the screen for me. So I'll cast Mind Thrust on the guy that's next to Thorn. Let's see if I can. It's just out of range of me being able to click it. There we go.
Okay. So DC. How smart are these guys? Not that smart. Oh, he rolled a 5.
Yay! So he gets 11 psychic, and he can only dash and disengage until the end of Palkas' next turn.
Okay.
And Palkas moves up to take cover.
All right.
It puts him just within the range. No.
Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, is he gonna get sick off of that?
It does, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. That's a radius.
So he's got to do, what, a con save?
Yep.
Alright,
Okay, he's fine.
there you go.
Alright, Malvola.
I'm going to move to here, and I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Oh, I just noticed I have your old token in this map. I'm sorry. That hits.
He's not at full strength, that's all.
Mhm.
Eldritch
I was
Bolt?
actually confused for a second. I was like, what's Eldritch Blast again?
And you finish him.
It's Eldritch.
Okay.
I mean,
The second one is going on the one that isn't.
Okay.
also in my defense, I only know it as Eldritch Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second one, not so much. I should have hit the one that was stunned because I think I'd get advantage on that and blow him to smithy. Although it still didn't do anything for damage.
That's right. I get advantage on attacks against him next round.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I can hear like a weird noise in there. Okay.
Even chat saying it's Eldritch Boop, not Blast. Get it right.
Very static. Keeping us on target. Okay.
I just thought he learned a new spell or something.
Then Grimm,
Why
it
you
is your
can
turn.
confuse me like that?
Of course, since we've got the Travis token, wouldn't it be Eldritch Blast? Okay. Let's have some fun with Mr. Stunned Guy.
Yep.
Which I imagine, since I have advantage, that
Yeah.
definitely hits for 5 slashing damage.
Okay.
And you know what? Just because I'm that much of an asshole, I'm going to spend a key point and he's got to make a save again.
Okay. It was con, right? Yeah, con.
Con with a DC of 15.
Okay. He rolled. Oh, he rolled a nat 20 that time.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Well, since he's being that way about it,
Not stunned anymore. That also
he's
hits.
still stunned, so I still get advantage
Oh, yep. To the end of your turn. Yeah.
for 10 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
Very nice.
And keep in mind, that's with the silvered arrowheads attached to the whip.
Ow.
Is he still standing?
He is, yes.
Well, I'll use my bonus action to
Hit him again!
do another 10 points of slashing damage.
Jeez.
They're
All the
maniacs. Alright, he is severely hurt.
Jeez.
On the stake scale, he's well tenderized.
He's been scored multiple times.
Yeah.
That ends my turn.
Alright. Lulu is like fluttering around, not particularly thinking that trumpeting is a good idea, so she's gonna hold. And this guy is going to approach you, and so is his friend. So Travis is kind of cowering against the wall at this point. Barb Tail
Trying to
comes at
steal
you
his
for
lunch
both.
money. So
First
rude.
one rolls a 14, so that misses. Second one rolls a 12, also misses. They don't get like multi-attacks, right? Do they? Come on.
Oh,
They've already
shucks.
got necrotic aura.
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's already bad enough.
Oh, yep, that's a good point. Thank you for reminding me of that.
You had to bring it up, didn't you?
Oh, come on. She'd have remembered.
Oh, you're
It's
fine.
only fair.
You're fine. Alright, Thorn.
I held my nose this time.
Oh, we have to do that every round?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's only on your own turn.
Yeah. Well, every
Yeah,
time
on
we
your
have a
turn.
turn.
Right.
But like,
Yeah.
So hopefully they die soon enough.
That's why I made sure to take that one dude out.
Mm.
So I'm going to be shooting at the one past Grimm, nearest to Travis.
okay. Yeah, I think 25.
I
might
think
hit.
that'll do.
Yeah.
Just
I think that
barely.
might hit.
Ooh.
Yeah, the one
Not
that
so
not.
much.
Okay, 7 points.
Okie doke. He looks like one more good hit will finish him.
And I should do a con given.
Yes, please.
Must be not given.
So it's do.
Oh, that's actually not that bad. That's pretty good.
That's about as good as it gets. Okay,
Coyra.
that's me.
Coyra hits this guy, or tries to hit the guy with a Thorn Whip.
Okay. That misses, unfortunately.
And upon doing that, missing, and seeing that she just randomly took damage last time, she's gonna take cover behind the corner. She doesn't trust those things.
Stinky goats.
Mm-hmm.
You are out of their
Yes!
reach. And Mr. Palkas.
All right. So, as much as Palkas wants to run up and smack things with a hammer, he doesn't like getting any closer to these smelly things because it hurts his nostrils so much that he starts bleeding. So, I think. I think I know what I might do here. We might do a little cantrip spell. Yeah, that sounds good. We're gonna do Mind Sliver on.
Cool.
1 second, I can't click on this thing. There we
You
go.
said Mind Sliver on Thorn?
It's gonna be
Surprise!
on this one,
Surprise, I'm a bad guy
Which
now.
one? Do it again.
the north one,
Okay.
and
The less injured.
there you go. DC 14.
What is that? Wait, minus 1d4.
That's if he fails.
Oh, if he fails. Okay.
Yeah.
Which he's. I mean, intelligence is not his strong suit. Yeah, he
Mhm.
rolled a 2.
So he takes 9 psychic damage. And if he makes any saves by the end of my next turn, he gets a minus 1d4.
Okay.
Which is a minus 1 currently. Why is it always minus 1?
Because it's bugged.
Maybe I need to make it just roll 1d4. And then we'll just take that off.
Yeah, because it is saying minus 1d4 in the
Oh, yeah.
report thing, and that
We've got
I have a
minus,
feeling is screwed.
an errant minus sign snuck in there.
Well, it's supposed to be a minus 1d4, but I will do the
Yeah, I see what you mean.
round at level. Wait, what? What is
And you
all-
could leave it like that.
That's chill touch. Mine's very funny. Huh?
Nice try, kashcah.
You staying where you're at, Mr. Hides around corners.
Yep.
Okay, Malvola.
Hey, corners are great. Leave them alone.
I see 2 targets. I have 2 boops.
2 boops, 1 for each of you. They both hit.
Wyatt
The
tried
one
to
on the left takes 13. The one on the top takes.
That finishes that guy.
Bam.
Guys are killing my goat dudes. What?
And they're still out of range.
They're already
Kashcah.
rotting. Come on.
You would say they're scapegoats.
Oh.
Oh,
Is Nightcaste far enough away?
He is not. So Malvola needs to roll a con saving throw, please. Ooh. A whole 1d6 necrotic damage.
Oh,
It's
I'm not the
coming
only one
your
rolling
way.
ones with my dice.
That's great.
I rolled a
I'm
negative
sensing a
one.
conspiracy.
If it would have been a 22, would it have done damage to the god itself?
I take
He
7 points from the
accidentally
smell. Everybody else takes 1 or 2.
This
Hey!
is just how it is in combat with monks.
I cry foul.
They
I'm not
always
talking
take
about the
double
smell.
damage, if not triple.
Need to log a ticket with Roll20's support system. Alright,
So
and
I've
it
only
is your
got one
turn.
playmate left.
Only one playmate.
And he's got a
And
he's got a -1 to any save.
Listen, you.
I'm just reminding.
Well-
just reminding.
Grim doesn't know that.
Well-
as much fun as that would be,
Where's my
I don't want to
magic
blow
points?
all my key points in one fight.
Oh, yep, that hits.
Oh
Oh,
my
that's
goodness.
the wrong. The little meows.
Yes.
So cute. Just
Basically,
the
I'm
one.
attacking my regular attack, extra attack, and bonus
Okay.
action.
And just the first one
And-
hits.
So he takes 7 points of slashing damage.
Okie doke.
And that
Okay.
ends my turn. I'm going to stay there because I'd rather not get in. Oh, yeah.
He is gonna move back here with you guys.
You'd rather not give him an extra attack on top of the attack he's going to get on you anyway.
Yeah, on top of the stench that I probably failed to save for.
Yep, sure did. There's only one of them now, though. So
Now, watch it roll higher than 1 or... Oh.
Oh.
who was a?
That's a lot of ones in a row.
I know. What is going on? Why do the dice
Kashcah
hate
just
me?
enabled cheats to keep his life. We forgot to turn it off for you, Nobby.
Yeah, I forgot to turn it off until after I took the initial 7.
You get a 1, and you get a 1,
Ooh,
and you get a
ooh,
1.
I think he hits
No.
on the
Huh?
probably the last attack that he'll ever attack. He his barbed tail whips forward to you. He's like, Duke and whip. And a barbed tail
Ready, roll?
attack for an 18 to hit.
Dang
Maybe.
it.
Actually,
Just barely.
Palkas is using his Bend Luck ability,
Oh my god.
which is going to burn 2 of his sorcery points. And
It's
You
fine.
just see the disappointment on Kashkah's face.
I know that's like the first
You
time
finally
this
hit me
guy
again.
gets.
so he loses 3 on his to hit.
Oh, 18 is my armor class, so it would have hit.
Okay.
So if we see something hurl across the room in Vallen's direction,
I mean, if suddenly during tomorrow's stream Vallen is missing, we know that.
funny,
Okay,
everybody
yep,
survived
sorry,
that
missus.
campaign except Ulfgar.
Get
The
stabbed in
giant
the back
meteor
as well.
lost that plop.
Alright, Thorn. He's all yours.
Yay.
That misses, unfortunately. That hits. He's still standing.
Doggone it.
There's hope, Kashka. He might make it to another round.
It's not likely. Okay, Coyra.
Con
Oh,
save, right?
Con save, yes, please. God damn it. See, if anything, my forgetfulness is gonna. Ooh, you just made it.
Coyra is gonna move up to here, I think. Let me see really quick. Yep. Just what she tried earlier, the Thorn Whip. Think that hits?
It does. Okay. Are you
After
pulling?
doing that, she goes back to her corner.
Are you gonna pull him forward? Or...
Ah, yeah, to the dead guy. Sorry, I keep forgetting that works.
hang on.
You do realize that
Yes, I'm
So
realizing.
proximity is what's.
I realized, but it's too late.
Trying to do some damage here.
Coyra realizes after the fact she just put herself in
Yes.
the stink zone.
There we go. That's better. Now I got it. All right. So
Which
yeah.
means she also
you...
put Palkas in the stink zone.
Yes. Could you roll a con save, please, for me? Okay. This is like the only damage they get to do. Oh, he does 6 necrotic damage to you.
Is it at the beginning of Coyra's turn or the end?
End. So far it has been end, so kill him.
I hope to. I don't know that I can.
It is your turn.
All right. Palkas does what he usually does when there's like one guy left. He lifts them all. And yeah, he could easily make it in there. He just kind of charges up, yells boom, and swings away with, hold on, where is it? There it is. But, hold on. He is going to use his Tides of Chaos ability, which grants him advantage. But the next spell he casts automatically surges. Not cantrip, spell. And then he regains Tides of Chaos. So I will roll again. See, I removed my advantage because I didn't want to be swayed by, oh, look, if I take this, I'll get, the better roll. So, all +1.
That just hits.
Oh, okay, good. 8 bludgeoning.
Oh
and
my god, he had 8 hit points.
And he says boom.
Is there a time limit on that next spell you cast?
It just says on the next spell I cast. Well, no, it's until I regain Tides of Chaos. So if I take a long rest, it will go away.
So basically we need to whack Palkas so that he gets knocked out, gets a long
None of
rest.
you know what's going on. I'm just communicating to the DM.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, by next combat I don't know.
Alright, so
I smack him with my hammer.
Indeed.
Wow, that was some crap damage I did too.
Well, it was enough. It was all he had left.
It was, yeah. There's a lot of ones in there.
Yeah.
Now what are we going to do with Travis?
What are you going to do with Travis?
He looks tasty. Well, no, we should check to see if the guy's actually going to make it because he was in the auras as well. So, obviously they're just standing over him, like, breathing on him, and the guy's like, oh!
I'm going to try to reclaim arrows.
Okay. Do you know how many you...
I fired 7.
There is 1 broken one.
Okay, thank you.
Which, by the way, last time, any broken ones you had, you brought to Coyra, and Coyra was able to salvage more of them.
Yes, I saw, thank you.
So Travis looks, like he's about to kick the bucket. Pop his clogs. Cash in his chips.
What are you doing out here?
Is that what you're asking, really?
Well, no, I mean, like, usually they're all hiding or something like that. How did you get here? I guess.
I live here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he says.
Okay.
While he's in his dying breath.
Right.
My house is just down the road.
We know of a safe spot that you can go. Let's take him back to the cathedral.
You want to backtrack?
Well, we can't exactly bring him along.
He says, "What are you doing here?"
We're trying to get to the graveyard.
He says, "What is going on?" With
I
this?
guess we can take him with us.
You had your chance.
He says, "What is going on? It's been such chaos."
You're in hell.
He says, "But yes,
If Palkas hadn't said that,
Not just
would
you.
have.
The whole city.
how, why are you here? Who are you?
To fix it.
Who are you? And how are you going to fix it?"
Yes.
We're the Mist Wolves.
That's a long explanation, and you don't have that kind of time.
Coyra just nods. Uh-huh.
Right,
We have a plan.
Palkas says this isn't exactly the best place to have conversations.
He says, "I'd rather come with you."
We can
Can you
escort you to the
fight?
rest of the refugees that are into protection. They're in the catacombs underneath the main high hall.
Is that where you are heading?
No.
No, we're going to the graveyard.
Well, I can be of use.
You fill up one of the holes.
Does he have? Does he have any kind of weapons or anything like that?
He has a blacksmith's hammer.
It's
Coyra just says, "Are you sure you will be fine as these three
Palkas
goats
says
didn't-
you looked like you needed more help than you'd be able to
Yeah.
lend it. Please forgive my bluntness, but
He says,
Coyra is just
Well,
nodding like, uh-huh.
I got
That's what she was
surrounded.
about to say.
He says, "Look, I can help." He says, "I want to be useful. I can help defend the city." Is that what you're doing?
in a way.
No, we're looking for older Ravengard.
This is true. He thinks he might have a way of salvaging all of the refugees, and we're hoping to find him and to aid him, if not rescue him, from what fate might have befallen him.
But he says, "But how are you going to defend the city from these disgusting devils?"
Palkas kind of shows him the hammer, motions to the guy dead on the ground.
He says, "But you can't just roam the streets trying to kill them all. There are many more than you."
We ran into you on our route. We came
We're
to your
looking
aid.
for older Ravengard.
Right.
I just told you.
But that doesn't have anything to do with defending the city. How are you going to
He-
defend the city?
Coyra actually.
We never said that was our plan.
Coyra goes to Lulu and asks if Lulu thinks it's a good idea to have the guy with us or not.
Lulu will say, "I have no idea who this person is."
What's worth a shot?
He says, "Well, if you're not defending the city, who is?"
Look, the
Palkas.
city has already fallen, literally, into hell.
He says, "Yes, that's why it needs defending."
There's no defending this corpse. Your
The
city is already dead.
The people in
There are
High Hall-
survivors under the High Hall. They need defending. They could probably use your help.
Palkas
We're
shakes his
trying to
head,
find
yes.
old Ravengard who may or may not have a solution to this mess. I don't understand what else you want from us. We're not demigods.
I think he wants us to defend the city.
Yeah,
He says,
just
you know,
"So who's at High Hall then?"
the city.
Everyone who survived,
Plus,
they-
your precious city.
Are
The-
they?
There's one Hell Rider, a whole one.
Oh, this. Oh,
And
is this guy really like smiling and stuff, or is that just you?
No, that's just me. Sorry,
It's
I love these
Kashcah
interactions.
and actually, that's a Hell Rider we brought with us. So
Yeah, she wasn't here when all this happened.
He says, "Surely there has to be some guards left."
Yes, one.
Well, where
Yeah,
are
they went with
Ravengard
all-
may have taken with them.
They went with Aldar Ravengard. That's part of the reason we're trying to find him.
And that
So
wasn't
then-
guard, they didn't say. That was just some people.
I should come and help you.
Palkas says, enough. They need people like you back with the refugee camp because they don't have more than a couple. We're not part of them, but they could really use you a lot more there than with us. Please, let us escort you back to the Citadel, where you can be of better use. Your friends, your family, there may be survivors there that you know.
If you have any friends or family.
Can I make a persuasion check? Try
Sure.
Get out of our hair. Persuasion. There you go. Turns out the guy's actually the Archmage. Otter still here.
Although if he comes with us and dies along the way, well, we're already headed to a graveyard.
This argument was already wrong.
No.
Wow,
Grimm
you
does not
finally get the joke.
Yeah.
I said that 10 minutes ago, man.
I wasn't sitting here when you said that.
It's
Sure.
worth revisiting. It was a good joke.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a joke. It's truth.
It doesn't really matter if he comes with us. His early funeral.
And see, it wouldn't be that hard. Palkas
No,
just
we don't have time
move
for a
Earth.
funeral.
I mean, Palkas just to move Earth. Done.
Palkas, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Really? Okay.
Oh no.
There you go.
Nice.
A voice speaks to you telepathically and says, you will take me with you and show me anybody who is involved in the defense. And you actually have to obey this command.
What was the request again?
You will take me with you, and you will show me anyone who is involved in the defense of the city.
Okay.
Do you have any kind of resistances or anything like that?
Do you repeat these instructions out loud?
I will take you with me.
As far as we are concerned, is that guy is going to a high hall.
Mm-mm. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
And he's half orc. His talents lie in combat and getting back up from death and dark vision.
Okay. So yeah, you
Not
are.
And
resistant to
stubbornness.
charm. Yeah, he's not resistant to charm.
Okay. Then yeah, you are.
How do you know what you're resistant to?
If you are, it'll say on your character sheet.
Okay.
I think the only one of us that would be is Thorn.
Yep.
Because he's one of those elf types.
Yep.
Hi.
Did Dragonborn get it too?
I'm
Or is that a warlock thing for you?
I
I
well
don't
not
remember much.
not to charm, but I do get damage resistances.
So, hang on 1 second. I need to make one more roll. Okay. So the rest of you, what you would see is, he kind of like, it's like he's mumbling to himself, like he's, you know, kind of grouching about what you're telling him.
Palkas says, all right, come with us. We'll take you to the cathedral and you can meet some of the defenders there, which is true.
I thought we were taking him back to High Hall.
That's
Coyra
what I said.
Really confused.
That's what I was meaning. Sorry, the cathedral. High Hall, cathedral,
Yeah,
castle, whatever.
I'm confused because that's what we wanted to do, and he resisted that, and now he's telling us to do that.
I
It's
think
make up your mind, dude.
I think he intended on actually having us take him to the graveyard, but Palkas's method of thinking is there are defenders of the city at the...
I mean, there's no defense going on at the graveyard.
This is true.
Kashcah, does that sound right?
What you said?
Mhm.
Or,
That I would take him back to the cathedral where there are, or the high hall where there are people, city defenders there, including a Hell Rider.
No, his intention was to go with you, so not to the cathedral, but to go with you to the cemetery.
Okay.
So now he's given us
Hold on.
2 conflicting instructions, or Palkas at least.
I'm trying to think how Palkas would like suddenly, obviously he didn't say that then this last time because that wasn't the intention of the spell. Palkas said, "Fine, you can come with us, but if you fall, it's on your own shoulders. Head. It's not on us. You've had your choice to go. I will not force you."
Speaking out of character, he seems really, really confused about what's happening in this city. He doesn't seem to have a clue. I mean, there's no defense of the city going on.
Okay, this is on Palkas. Trying to figure out what the heck's going on. The sudden change.
Coyra actually goes up to Palkas and whispers, "Are you okay?" As you suddenly switched your mind.
Honestly, even if he hadn't cast the charm spell, I would have done that. So I don't think it's really too far off from what I would have done. To be honest,
I mean, at this point, I'm also like, if you want to follow us, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the same thing Palkas said. It's like, you can come along if you want, but if you die, that's your problem, not mine.
So for the insight check, something does seem a little off about Palkas's change of heart.
It's just one of those, before he was talking about almost insisting taking the guy back to High Hall. And then he suddenly does an about face.
The only difference between this and
it's not totally out of character, but it's the sudden switch that
if
I were to be curious.
Someone is just grateful to avoid the backtracking at this point.
True. If anything, Palkas was feeling a bit irked before because the guy did not want to go back with the refugees, and just suddenly it just dropped, and he was a little more relieved than he probably should have been. That's about it.
How hurt does this guy look, by the way?
He seems to have like some small wounds, but overall he seems in okay health.
Just because I'm going to examine his shadow.
Coyra tries to figure this guy out. What role do I need to do for that? Is it an insight check?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She finds it weird that he has like some small wounds, like you're saying, while he was being attacked by 3 goats.
Palkas inspects his shadow.
That's what I was saying.
Well,
does too.
His shadow.
Well, mostly they were just taking turns farting on him.
I mean, I intensely scrutinize his shadow.
Yeah, his shadow looks fine.
Okay.
Shadow matches the human shape that you see before you.
Okay.
So for the insight check, Shy, something seems a little weird about him. Like, Like I think somebody mentioned, he doesn't seem to know like what's going on. Like, but he was out here in the open. He's claiming to be from Elturel. There's something that doesn't quite line up.
But she can't put her finger on it, and it's totally normal, as she's weird with you. So she mentions that it's like a little bit weird, but then again, what do I know? That's
Of course,
basically what
Grimm's
she
thought
says.
Malvola's
is if he
leaving.
gets out of hand, I'm sure Thorn will
Malvola's
stab
like
him.
done
So
with you all.
Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, continue on toward the graveyard.
As usual, Palkas is in the back, and
Okay.
he keeps any newcomers in front of him.
Coyra is in front of Palkas, then the newcomer, then right?
Malvola's
That's
going
how
for
we
the stroll.
always did it.
Alright, let's go back to the map.
Yep.
So you were kind of just in this block here, saving Travis's life. So Palkas, he is going to walk next to
We're
you.
still on this map, by the way.
Oh crap! Sorry, my bad.
It's okay.
Oops. Let's try that again. So you're just kind of in this block here, and Travis will purposefully walk next to you, Palkas.
Mm-hmm.
And he is kind of talking to you, like well, he's talking to you a lot. He's asking you questions. Asks you how you got here.
We were teleported by an otter.
And why you are here.
To save Elder Ravengard so that the city can be recovered. Am I held to answer the questions? Not that he wouldn't answer these ones so far.
If you kind of resist, then you know he will kind of insist.
Okay. Well, these are currently just, he's a bit irked at all the questions because he doesn't like talking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He does talk, but just.
Then he asks you who's at the cathedral aside from the Hellrider.
Woman with a book and hundreds of other people.
He says, "What's the book?"
I don't remember. It seemed to be something important. Perhaps a contract or something.
He kind of probes further about the book and says, "Did you look inside it? What did it?"
No.
Do you know where she got it?
From the people? He looks a bit confused at that point. He's like, "You're very curious for someone who seems to be a resident here. Shouldn't you already know all these things?"
He says, and he's going to insist on this. We are friends, and you like my questions.
Is this all telepathic?
No.
Well, in that case, as soon as he says, "We're friends, you like my questions," I'm definitely going to turn around and shoot him. Because
I guess would be.
I might be vague and, happy to follow Palkas's lead, but I'm not actually a cretin. So I would like to fire 3 shots at him, please.
Okay. Let's look.
Yeah, all the questions would be catching Grimm's attention as well. Like, what's with all the questions here? Something tells me we may have moved off the map too soon.
Well, it doesn't entirely matter. Sorry.
Okay. So upon, so yes, you will hit, you will hit him with, 2 of those shots.
Okay.
Okay.
And there's the Dread Ambusher bonus as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely an ambush or a surprise attack.
Yeah. So
I'm just going to yell, "Enemy, kill it!"
and this actually kind of releases you from the effects of being charmed by him, Palkas.
Well, yeah, it's going to screw with the guy's concentration roll like crazy.
Just a little bit.
No.
And he reverts to his true form.
Farmer. He's an evil farmer, isn't he?
So he looks.
Oh,
This is the most ridiculous picture. I'm just gonna say this now. There we go.
Okay.
So how did he not have a demon shadow?
Seriously, like
well, I guess it's just better disguised.
Seriously? This guy has like a 12-pack.
I know, right? Like
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Travis
maybe
will
even
him as
16.
secretly a devil.
Is that 18?
Now just picture him with 2 arrows sticking out of him.
Yeah. So he reverts to his normal form and attempts to fly away. So what I'm going to do is give you all a chance to kind of get one attack in before he is out of your range.
Okay.
So
Like one full round action, or just one attack?
yeah, think of it like a reaction. So it's one attack, but I know it's not like exactly, but he's moving.
Okay.
He's trucking.
Right. So basically, I don't get like a bonus action or something. I can cast a spell or hit him with them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So he is trying to take off right now, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So let's just go like across the well, I don't know. Anybody want to go first? Any volunteers with
Yeah,
that
I'll
action?
do it. I was already shooting at him.
Yep.
I'll go next then.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the 8 doesn't hit. I don't know if the 17 would.
The 8 does not hit. The 17 does. So then he takes another 13.
Now, wait, are we taking a single attack or I'm confused now?
Well,
A
I mean,
single
my attack,
action.
my attack action is 2 arrows.
Yeah, so a single action, basically. So you don't get your bonus action or any of that stuff.
Okay. Then I
And
don't
the
know if
shield
this
is a 26 as a hit.
he's lifting off.
Yep.
Is he in the air already or not yet?
Yeah, I mean he'll be like a small distance off the ground.
Would
I
an
don't know if it-
entanglement get him? Sorry.
Thorn whip might.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I was thinking if he's not high enough, entangle him.
Whoops. There we go.
That hits.
Boom. As soon as he moves, he takes 2d8 lightning damage.
And that's the 10.
I
Yeah.
approve.
Okay.
And the mole damage for 8.
Okay.
Again, that was crap damage. Oh, I rolled the 1.
Oh, the thorn whip
Oh.
hits. Yep.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And
Pull
that'll
him
pull-
down.
Pull
Yeah,
him back
that's
down.
exactly what Coyra is gonna
Well,
do.
if
Pull it
if
down.
Coyra, if that hadn't worked with Coyra, I don't know if it would have worked. But I was going to try to whip in such a way, not necessarily to damage, but wrap around his ankle.
I think he would fly away with you.
I've got those gauntlets. I've got that strength.
That doesn't keep you attached to the ground.
I can pull it.
Just
Basically,
keeps
I'm
you
saying I
attached
can
to the
pull
whip.
it. Either way. Okay, that one doesn't hit.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway,
So there's this
apparently he's not going anywhere. Just yet.
Malvola did the boops. Okay, so everybody's kind of had a shot at him, right?
Mhm.
So there's this like struggle, right, where he is trying to escape, and you guys are pelting him with all kinds of shit.
Pulling him down.
Yeah, and he is like severely hurt by I mean, you've hurt his feelings for starters.
He broke my friendship.
And
Static has a good point. What about Lulu?
I think Lulu is just agape at what is all happening. Like, we were friends and now we're
Lulu's
not
like,
friends.
they come with 12 packs?
Woo, woo. That's Lulu's reaction. No,
Now, since
What's
Coyra
worth the
pulled him
shot?
down, would we get another round of attacks?
no, we're not going to do that. Because he has a 60-foot fly speed.
Oh, I've
So,
got
and that's
120.
That
all-
means he's still in range of me if he
Yeah.
double moves.
Me,
Yeah,
me too.
I
Yeah,
can blast him again.
Go on then.
Me too.
Yeah, and he's still in range
Yeah.
of Thorn. He's out of my range.
Absolutely.
Oh, right,
Definitely
the
out of
longbow.
my
There you
range.
go.
Oh, crap.
He's out of my range for sure.
That's 19. Okay.
I got him with 4 necrotic at the very end of his rare. If he double moves, I could still get him.
4. And the first longbow hits. So 8. Okay, let me add all this up. Make sure I've got it.
Jeez.
As he flies away, then suddenly tumbles from the sky.
1 plus.
I wonder if he casts Charm Person or Friends or what.
Being an incubus, I think they have like an innate ability.
Oh, for
I'm just
charming.
glad he
you
didn't
mean?
have Palkas turn on us.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you're a wild magic sorcerer. Let's just set that off. It doesn't matter what you cast.
I almost did. I forgot. Thank goodness, Booming Blade is just a cantrip.
Yeah.
I think 111 damage he's had from us.
So, yeah. So what?
That's a lot of damage.
Mhm.
True.
So having taken the
Where's the
damage,
zone when you need him?
like part way through, he is actually going to. Sorry, I was just reading this, and he is actually just going to bamf into the etherealness.
Oh.
That only works from the prime material plane.
Don't question the DM.
Yeah.
It could end badly for you.
So okay, yep, fair enough then. He
I
tries to
mean,
do this
whatever.
and fails, and yeah, his body falls from the sky. And if he wasn't dead when he started falling, he certainly is when he hits the ground.
Yeah, because isn't it a D6 for every 10 feet or something like that?
Yeah.
But in hell, it's D8. Because, you know, the Nether versus
Because it
the
just
overworld.
sucks that much more.
I don't know. I was just making this stuff up.
Oh, that would be funny though. 'Cause it's like,
Okay.
So yeah, dead dude, splattered
Good.
on the ground.
Let's see. In 7
With a
days to die
six-pack.
style.
Laying there.
Boop.
yes.
I'm gonna double tap.
Wow.
I just want to make sure he ain't getting back up.
Yeah.
I mean, his brains were splattered on the ground. It's kind of
okay. Well,
obvious that he's not. But if you want to like
Well, that's what half of Palkas is
jamify
still
him,
do.
then
No. That's all right.
In which case,
Aha.
That was another 7 arrows. Do I have any luck getting any of them back?
let's do a roll.
So,
Yeah, you get them all back actually.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
They came falling back to you.
there was
Yeah,
this nice circular pattern on his chest as well.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you didn't land face down, otherwise they would have been gone.
Wow.
okay,
So-
now that we've dealt with that,
Pal-
shall we continue to the graveyard?
Palkas keeps just kind of keeps looking at the ground with his hand on the scarred side of his head, just kind of like rubbing it a bunch.
You all right, Palkas?
And he just grumbles and
Okay.
continues on walking.
Okay.
One will pat Malchus's shoulder clumsily.
his pride was hurt more than anything in this one, but yeah.
Grimm isn't exactly the touchy-feely type, so
and
not gonna press.
He says, "Thank you, Thorn."
So a short distance later, you arrive at the boundary of the cemetery. And there is a 10-foot high brass fence that once surrounded it entirely, and you can see now that it has fallen in numerous places. And
guys are so creepy.
And a wide gate allowing access to the grounds has been torn from its hinges. Severed humanoid body parts adorn the spikes atop the fence posts. Some of the body parts are still wriggling and writhing, and they seem to be influenced by the lightning that's flashing across the now evil companion.
Tap Coyra on the shoulder and point out one of the wriggling ones and say, "See? Nothing is ever dead."
Coyra just chuckles.
Can't scare me, Moon Elf. So ahead of you, you see cracked gravestones and crumbling monuments are scattered across the cemetery ground, whose center is occupied by a chapel that appears to be, from this distance, you can see symbols of Lathander, Torm, Helm, and Tyr. And the once holy structure now glows with a fetid purple radiance.
That's probably not a good sign.
Looks unhealthy.
Looks familiar.
So where do we look for him?
What did Rhea say to us about this?
About what?
About where it would be found in
the chapel.
In the chapel.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's go to the
So
chapel.
head for the chapel.
Where's the chapel?
It's in the center. The exact location
the scorch
is not
mark?
important.
We're going to the chapel, but nobody's getting married.
Yeah. So as you begin to kind of make your way through the cemetery, you do start to observe that, as soon as you step inside the gates, you pretty much notice that some of the graves have been dug up.
So I started blasting.
Pits in the earth that is 6 feet deep, 2 feet wide and 7 feet long. You see that some of the big stone kind of mausoleums, their doors are hanging open, and there are numerous undead skeletons and zombies moving through the grounds. But they are wandering aimlessly. As you step inside, there's one that's, within fairly openly, within shouting distance of you, and it seems oblivious to your existence.
Just the way I like it.
So there are dozens of skeletons and zombies kind of meandering, doing the zombie shuffle around this graveyard.
But they're not even, I'm not sure what the term is.
They're not being hostile to us,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
can leave them alone.
Yeah, they seem like they're just totally aimless at the moment.
Have any of us set foot in the graveyard yet?
Well, according to the map, yes, the three of you have been. Three of you, Leroy Jenkins, in.
Meanwhile, Coyra is still at High Hall.
And Rhea is floating above the voids.
Yeah, and Palkas is just laying on a hill.
Yep.
Rhea is actually Zariel in disguise and can clearly fly, so yeah.
Right.
I called that when we found her on the boat.
By the way, real briefly, I've converted a couple of my spells to spell points. or to sorcery points.
Okay.
Sorry, but I think the question was, have we actually entered the area, not just are we?
Well, and this is, you tell me, right? This is what you see ahead of you. You stepped inside these gates, right? And this is what you see in front of you.
Okay,
So,
we have stepped
The-
inside. Well, there's still
the
not a
way
darkness. Fine. That was important.
The
Don't
way I
press our luck.
understood it, we had approached the chapel, and as we were approaching the chapel, we noticed, hey, there's like zombies and skeletons, but they don't seem to care about us, which is weird because normally they would come after.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't trust it.
yeah, I mean, you have to be like inside, right, to be able to see like that the mausoleum doors are open. You know that. Yeah.
Palkas
The
says,
quantity of undead that are there. So you've definitely moved inside.
I fear that if we touch something that we shouldn't, we'll attract all of their attention. So don't touch anything.
I touched the door handle.
Touch, touch, touch.
Right.
I mean, you're asking Grimm not to touch anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
As long
come
as
on.
Big roll.
He's like, I
As
want that
long
guy's
as there's
leg.
nothing wooden, I'll be fine.
Give me that skeleton's leg.
I resist the urge to touch.
Mm.
Yeah, the shoes on that foot that's skewered on the fence look pretty cool.
I still think it's a good idea to try and avoid
But no,
Getting-
you're fine.
close.
But I
to
don't
it.
usually wear shoes, so shoes don't really have
Oh, yeah.
much.
So they look cool,
Draw.
but you're not tempted.
The thing I was thinking is he would be tempted to take like the forearm that's up there and be like, hey.
Tap Palkas on the shoulder with it.
Boom.
Start bludgeoning
Here,
the zombies.
put this in your catapult bag.
Oh, God.
It's not going to smell bad at all.
Give you a catapult bag. All right.
You said the doors to the chapel are open.
We didn't get that far yet.
Let's
actually.
get
Oh,
married.
okay.
So are you, I mean, this is what you've seen. Are you proceeding through the
Cautiously,
graveyard? Okay.
keeping a very wary eye on
Yeah.
the undead.
So they do completely ignore you, right? They're oblivious. It's, yeah, does not matter whatsoever. And as you approach the chapel, you can see that the descent into Avernus definitely has taken its toll on this building. And the once beautiful outside is now, pretty well damaged. Stained glass windows along the outside have been smashed, and you can see that the main doors hang open. But you do see in your path a couple of large creatures,
Of course.
and they look. Hang on, I can show you what they look like.
Farmers.
No, not again.
They look like a blacksmith.
Death to all farmers.
They look like this. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
Can we go back to the farmer idea?
So there are 3 of them kind of roaming in front of the chapel. They're like, there are some steps up to the doors, and the 3 of them are kind of stepping, like walking just small amounts kind of backwards and forwards in front of the chapel. They're not straying too far from the main doors, but they are definitely wandering around a little bit.
This
Something
implies that
tells
there
me
were 3
they're not.
minotaurs buried in this cemetery.
Yeah.
And actually, I think we'll stop there for today
Not all
before we get
minotaurs are
into
bad.
it with minotaurs. Minotaur skeleton.
I've known a few that have been pretty good. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming out for another episode of Descent into Avernus, Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. And we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
Tune in next That time. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.